Chapter 143. Take It Apart. Summary. Mei, Izuku, and Denki have locked themselves in the lab for days, now that they have their hands on the warp drive, eating nothing but protein bars and the tears of the laws of physics. Katsuki won't stand for that. They end up taking the Glockaberry's entire ship with them. There were too many people to stuff into the Kyoto, and Mei wanted to have the whole ship available to inspect during her process. Katsuki didn't fear many things. That was a lie. He was always afraid nowadays. But Mei was one of them, and the way she said that word made it clear he didn't want to get in the way of whatever was going on there. The problem was, with the constant explosion and cackling sounds emitting from behind the Solavia lab door, he was pretty sure none of the gremlins had slept or eaten more than a nutrient bar in the 3 days since they returned. So it was looking like he would need to get in their way after all. While he wasn't going to try and make them sleep, no thank you, he valued his life more than that. He could help with the food issue. The thud of Katsuki's heel kicking against the door blends uselessly into the backtrack of crimes against physics. He shifts the trays of food in his arms to get into a better kicking position, but the high-piled plates wobble precariously with his movement. Fucking come on, you useless... Ugh! Open this door right now, you shut-ins! He shouts through the still-closed door. The buzz of something stops for a moment, and he yells out again. Yeah, you heard me, dumbasses! Stop staring at your nuts and bolts for one goddamn moment and let me in! He narrowly avoids stumbling when the door opens with his foot still outstretched. Instead, he transitions his momentum into kicking Deku in the stomach. Oof, nice to see you too, Kachan. The nerd wheezes, stepping back from where he'd opened the door. What are you... Is that Katsudon? It is, Katsuki said, quickly setting down the trays on the nearest clear surface, which ends up being an empty cabinet that, according to its label, once contained a myriad of fire extinguishers, and shoving the bowl into Deku's hands. So eat it before you pass out. It's not... The boy stutters. We haven't been that bad. Katsuki shoots him a glare, and Deku falls silent, hiding his face behind the bowl as he starts to eat. Sweet, Denki says, scooping a plate up for himself before falling into a swivel chair and rolling away. Thanks, Kat. Shooting a quick hand out, Katsuki stops the chair from returning to the pile of wires and suspiciously glowing objects. Hold it. You're not going back to your science shit until you're done eating. No way you're cheapening the experience of my cooking by being distracted while you eat it. Got it, Denki squeaks, leaning away from where Katsuki's head had drawn in close. The two teens shuffle awkwardly as they try to clear enough junk off a table to eat at, but the third gremlin doesn't appear. Picking his way across the minefield with care, Katsuki is finally able to make out the ringleader. Hidden among the disassembled blue glowing tubes, intricate silver workings, and writing scrawled directly on the floor, is Mei. Much like the first two, her hair is wilder than normal, frizz surrounding her braids like a glow. Her fingers are stained various colors. The nuclear blue is thankfully not among them, and the bags under her eyes are starting to make themselves apparent. Come on, break time. Pretend to be a normal functioning being for a few minutes, and then you can go back to whatever this is. But I just figured out that the warp drive has something akin to a cooldown or recharge window, and I need to find out how long it lasts. In an instant, she's holding up some electronic piece Katsuki couldn't begin to guess the function of.
This here indicates that there was a close monitoring of heat and radiation and some third thing that prevented the activation from occurring. But here, Tinky found that there's something that times out activation for a minimum length of time just to be safe. But whoever designed this is hopeless. It's impossible to tell what it...
Katsuki slowly gets a hand around Mei's wrist. Uh-huh, he intones, gently putting down the thing she was holding. He pulls her forward and away from the nest of contraptions. How about you come over here and tell me more about it? What other things did the dipshit who designed this do? Oh no, Dinky whines. Don't get her started on that. Anything but that. But it's too late. Mei's already off, talking a mile a minute. Katsuki has to keep reminding her to take bites of her food, and at one point, without even looking away from his own food, Izuku gives a lightly choking Mei a thump on the back that sends the lodged vegetable flying. Katsuki's not sure how Mei survived before she managed to recruit her own gremlin squad. Eventually, she runs out of things to complain about. Or air. And Katsuki's able to ask the question he's been wanting to for the last 3 days. How long until you know how to make one of these? How long until we can get things moving? How long until we can finish this fight and get everyone home?
To know how to make one? A week, maybe 2. But to figure out how to improve the design so we can actually make more?
Mei just shrugs. Before Katsuki can ask what the fuck a shrug means, Deku says, Well, there's a lot to improve that'll be pretty easy. I'm not sure why, but whoever made this missed a lot of basic design shortcuts. There's just so much to change that it's hard to tell how much we need to do before it's ready to produce. Which is still a whole lot of nothing, so Katsuki shoots a glare at him. If I had to say, well, after we know how to make it as is, we'll be ready to bring in other scientists to help with the streamlining. So with the help, I think we should be ready to start producing warp drives in a little over a month, which is really fast when you think about it. It sounds like a long time, but it's really not. I've got it, nerd. Tech Jesus and her disciples are blasting away the competition. Whatever. A month is fine. We can deal. Just make sure you 3 aren't working yourselves to death. Raccoon Eyes and Pink Cheeks have been complaining like an old housewife every night when you all aren't there for bed. Deku leans to the side of his chair, just barely managing to knock his head against Katsuki. Aw, do you miss us, Kachan? He scoffs. I keep waking up with them on top of me. I need more cannon fodder. He didn't say no, Denki stage whispers to Mei. Whatever. Katsuki rolls his eyes, but doesn't deny it. How are your arms, Sparky? He'd been meaning to ask for a while, but with everything going on, and the fact that Denki had taken to wearing long-sleeve shirts, it hadn't crossed his mind until now. Denki tugs at his short sleeves self-consciously, eyes drawn to the pink Lichtenberg patterns trailing his arms. Oh, they're fine. All healed up. It's like been a month. Katsuki traced the marks along their hidden paths up to where they peeked out from his collar, like reaching fingers. All healed up. Any more shakiness? He pushed. Nope, I told you. All good. Katsuki gave the electric blonde a flat stare, before shifting to look at Deku. I haven't seen anything in a few weeks. He seems better. Good. Katsuki pauses, searching for anything more to bring up, before giving up. I'm gonna go. I've got shit to do. Meetings to set up, idiots to talk to, all that bullshit. He stops at the door. Drink water, and come to bed tonight. It's not a question, but they still agree before Katsuki shuts the door and makes his way down the hall.